welcome back to the PhatPhish Guitar Studio. I'm Dave, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Zoom H4n Handy Recorder. Now this is something I've been using in studio and when I've been out and about recording for quite a while now, and when I first got it I did a few videos demonstrating some of the modes that were available and some of the basic features, and I got a question sent to me the other day by Steve. So Steve said, I've only used the multi-track and stereo modes on my H4n. I wasn't clear on the point of the other mode. Sure, I get that you can create two WAV files, but I was hoping that your video would let me know why you might want to do this. Am I right in thinking that the point is to get variations in tone from the same recording session? And the audio on your guitar playing video is from the files recorded on the H4n, played back individually and then simultaneously, say from a DAW, with different playback levels, or am I still missing the point? Okay, so that's a good question actually. Are you missing the point? Maybe a little bit. It's one of those things. When I got the H4n, it felt like an obvious use for me, but you know what's obvious for me isn't necessarily obvious for everybody else. So I'll explain why I use that 4-track mode and kind of what it gives you above and beyond basic stereo recording or using the multi-track mode. To quickly recap what the H4n can do, it's got a basic stereo recording mode which uses the built-in stereo microphone or an external stereo mic that overrides that, or you can use the two inputs on the bottom, put in a microphone or an audio source with a regular jack plug or an XLR, and those two inputs become your left and your right channels on the stereo. 4-track mode is more sophisticated. It's more like a regular, like a traditional 4-track recorder, where you can mix and match the microphone inputs or the external inputs to 1 track or 2 tracks or whatever, recording in stereo, recording in mono. Or there's the 4-channel mode, which uses the stereo microphone from the unit or an external stereo mic and the two inputs at the bottom to give you 2 WAV files. 1 WAV file from the microphone input and a second WAV file in stereo from the 2 mono inputs on the bottom of the unit. When I'm recording stuff for YouTube, sometimes I take the audio signal into a DAW on the computer, but generally I just try to record off the Zoom recorder. It's quite a handy little setup, and it's something I can take out and about with me if I'm recording away from the studio. What you're hearing now is the sound of the room with the microphone that's built into the Zoom recorder. The reason that I use that microphone rather than the one that's built into the camera there, the camera's great. Optically it's really good. I've got a really nice quality lens on there. Hopefully I'm nice and clear. But the microphone that's built into the camera there, it's fairly average quality mono microphone. There's one that I've got on the Zoom over there. It's stereo and it's much better quality microphone capsules. So the quality of the sound in the room I think is generally better. So if I'm just talking to you now and I'm alternating between the sound of the microphone from the Zoom and the microphone that's on the camera, you'll be able to hear a difference in quality, and I just think it comes over better what's recorded on the Zoom recorder. But the most important thing for me is having a completely separate track with the guitar on it. So if I play something on the guitar, what you heard there is the sound, what I'm hearing in the room. That was the sound from the microphone recording on the Zoom. And you're hearing everything. You're hearing all the ambient sound in the room, including just the sound of the pick hitting the strings. You're not hearing the pure sound of the guitar signal. So what I'll do now is I'll just play some stuff, and in the edit I'll sort of switch between the microphone on the Zoom picking up the sound of the room with all the pick clicks and so on, the sound of the direct input, and just for the hell of it I'll mix in the sound from the camera microphone as well, so you can hear how the different sound sources sound. Oh, and if you're interested, today I'm playing this Evo Artist from Williams Guitars. Got the clean channel on the PV Valve King and some dirt coming courtesy of my new Boss Angry driver. It's on the JHS Angry Charlie setting. So hopefully there you could hear the difference in sound between the different sources, and you'll understand why it is that I like to have the sound just coming direct from the amp without any of the sound of the room. It's a bit more fiddly in editing, because when I'm mixing all the audio tracks for YouTube videos, I'm always having to go through the different audio tracks and keep kind of muting the sound of the microphone from the room when I'm playing guitar, so you're not getting that in. A little bit fiddly, but I think it's worth it because the audio quality from the final mix is much better. If you're interested in some of the stuff behind how I do the audio stuff for my YouTube videos, I've done a separate video about that in response to another request, so I'll put a link to that in the information section down there. Okay, so Steve, hopefully that's answered your question and given you some insights as to what you can do with that 4-channel mode on the Zoom, and kind of explain a little bit about how I use it. If you found that useful, please click like, please subscribe down there. If you've got a comment or a question, well, you can leave it in the comments section, but if you want to ask a question, generally it's much better if you go here, fill in the form, send your question in. I'll try and get around to answering it as soon as I can. That form is a bit more reliable. I saw Steve's question in the YouTube comments section, but I don't always see YouTube comments because YouTube's a bit rubbish at letting me know when people comment on videos, so sometimes comments go unseen. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video next time. Bye for now.